Stahls Electronics, why do you hate fat people? I don't know. I think maybe you got a little problem with fat people. I'm just kidding, Stahls. But I do want to talk about a problem that I had as a fat person. And maybe you wouldn't even have to be a fat person. I don't know. I have a belly that sticks out front. Maybe if you don't have a belly that sticks out front, maybe this is not an issue for you. But I bought the Fusion IQ. As far as I know, that's the most expensive, like 16 by 20 heat press you can get. And when I got it, the day I bought it, like $2,200 this thing cost. Like the day I bought it, I had to modify it. So I think it's an engineering issue. I don't know why they did it this way. I'm sure some pinhead sitting at a desk was like, this don't work. And had never used a heat press. So I modified mine. I'm going to show you today what the problem was and how I fixed it. Stay tuned. All right, so now this is not stock. I'm just letting you know, like if you look at this handle, you see where it's got that gray shit on it? That's where I've put acetone on there to get some adhesive off through some different experiments. But if you look at this heat press, see this handle? How far that handle sticks out? When you pull this out, if you look, you see there's the problem. But now the handle hits me here. Okay? So this is the biggest part of my belly. This is, this is still sticking out a little bit. But let me try to fix that. But where this handle stops me, if I lean all the way against the press, and I'm standing up pretty straight, and if I bend just a little, I have to bend over this much to touch the back of that, to slide something this far. This thing is digging in. Now, fat people problems is fat people problems. I get it, I need to lose weight and try it. But that's still a pain in the ass. That's a problem. So here's what I did. First thing I did was I took the handle off, because you don't need that handle. This plate right here, I'll take that off. Now that's stuck on with some adhesive, so you have to kind of tear it off, but I don't need it. Now we're left here. We're left flush. The tray still comes out, but now I can belly up right too. See, another one of the problems is the distance between the platen and the base is pretty substantial. I'm going to say that's probably 4 inches. So there's 4 inches from here to the platen. So when you belly up, you're already, this far away from the platen. Like I had a DK20. When I bellied up, man, my belly was laying on this platen. So I'm already 4 inches out from the thing. So if you look here without the handle, now, without bending over very far, I'm still much closer to the end of the platen by getting rid of the handle. So getting rid of the handle was a big part of the solution. So how do you get this out? How on earth will you pull this out? Well, look, if it was me, even when this is hot, you can really just grab it by the bottom and pull it out. It's not the end of the world. But what we're going to do, I have some double-sided adhesive. Now don't ask me where I get these or what kind this is, because I imported these for a very special project, and I'm not even doing that special project, so I have like thousands of these. But all it is real thick double-sided adhesive, like 3M adhesive, but it's thick. It's probably a 1/16 of an inch thick. Now, if you look down here, okay, this thing, it moves with the platen, right? That's going to move. So really, you can move it with that. Now, originally, I had stuck this on there like that, but that still gives me space from the platen to the end of the handle. So that's why this has got acetone all over it, because I had to remove the adhesive that I had on there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this side of the handle, okay, so removing the handle, there were just 2 screws. There were just like a couple screws in the sides. So I think it was 4 screws. So get rid of the handle. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the flat side of the handle, which will be upside down. I'm going to put adhesive on that. I'm going to mount that to this block of wood. So it's going to be mounted like this. Okay. And then I'm going to mount this whole thing on there, so that this handle will actually be under the platen, which is how they should have done it from the get-go. Like, who needs a handle sticking out 4 inches? Some of us already got shit sticking out 4 inches, so we don't need your help, stahls. So I did sand that with a really fine sandpaper, because I had it at acetone, and it was pretty kind of ugly. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, maybe, I'm going to stick this adhesive pad on this block of wood and push down real hard to make sure that is stuck. Then trim off. So if you were using regular adhesive tape and not this weird oval thing, you really wouldn't have to trim those edges off. So just so you can see how thick that is, where's the camera? This is a brand new phone. You see how thick that is. It's not like Scotch double-sided tape. It's more like the thick white stuff. So I'm just going to set that on. So we're putting them on opposite sides. One for the handle, one for the press. One for the handle, one for the press. And then again, I'm going to trim off these weird edges. Mostly. Alright, so now I have double-sided tape on both sides. Damn it, man. So now I'm going to apply the handle upside down, making sure that it is not, I want to make sure the wood is not in the hole. So, lots of pressure there. That's stuck on there pretty good. Now, you all see that? So I'm looking just gonna stick it. I don't give a shit. Push. Push. Pushing down with all my weight. Look at that. Look at that handle, stahls. Look at that handle, stahls. So now, let's recap. There's 4 inches here that should not be here. On a DK20, you don't have this space. So, as I walk up to this press, you see I'm already T-Rex arms challenged, right? But with that handle, I was even more T-Rex challenged. So now that I have no handle, I can belly up, I can touch the edge, you know, I can lean against the press and touch the ends. Where before, I was kind of really having to do some yoga shit, which I don't want to do. And I still have a handle. So this handle will pull this thing in and out. You know, somebody's going to say, well, that double side tape won't hold. I think it will. It's what they had that metal thing on there with. And if it doesn't hold, I'll redo it. But I mean, I think stahls for $2,200 should think about the fat man and the fat woman and stand up for us. Fat lives matter. And if you, maybe you're not fat, you know, maybe you're pregnant. You ever think about how many crafting girls are pregnant? And they make my belly look like nothing. And then they buy your most expensive ass press in the world, and they can't get to it. So I think this is a very viable solution. Look at this. I'm pulling the handle right out, no problem. Nothing in my way. So if you have a Fusion IQ and you have one of these stupid flipping handles that stick out 4 inches, that's one way to fix it. See you guys next time.